The Knicks have shown interest in Dejounte Murray for the last few weeks, and that interest has only intensified. And now, according to an NBA insider, the Knicks may be looking at another Hawks player. Because according to this insider, he notes that the Knicks could be possibly targeting Hawks big man Clint Capella. We're going to break down this massive report and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to turn notifications on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks have shown interest in multiple Hawk players. Now, it's no secret. If you've been watching this channel, you already know. I love Dejounte Murray. I want him on this roster because I think he fits this roster better than most guards that we would add to this roster, especially if you consider who's in the backcourt with Jalen Brunson. And if you want Jalen Brunson to get more of a rest and you add Dejounte Murray to this roster, you're absolutely going to be able to get Jalen more rest. He's going to be able to spend time on the bench, and you're not going to have to play him 40-plus minutes or play him with the reserves and have to burn him out. But now, according to reports, it seems like the Knicks are not only interested in Murray, it seems like now they're interested in another Hawks player, Clint Capella. Let's take a look at this new report here. According to reports from Brett Siegel, an NBA insider, he notes that the Lakers, the Knicks, the Rockets, and the Kings are teams to monitor in the Clint Capella sweepstakes. He continues by stating the following in his report. According to Siegel, frustrations stemming from their lack of success continue to mount in Atlanta, leaving the Hawks front office open to virtually all offers coming their way. For Capella, an influx of playoff contending teams have already begun to show a level of interest, with the Los Angeles Lakers, the New York Knicks, the Houston Rockets, and the Sacramento Kings named as possible suitors for the veteran center. Here's where things get even more interesting. Shout out to John Hollinger from The Athletic for reporting the following. The Hawks could include Clint Capella or DeAndre Hunter with Dejounte Murray in a potential trade. We looked into this report further and we got the following from John Hollinger. If Murray gets traded with Capella, both New York and Los Angeles would have to find salaries to match the deal, likely along with draft capital. Hollinger reported that the Hawks are still determining trade value for Capella and others. According to Hollinger, league sources say that the Hawks have had continued chatter on potential Murray deals. Some will tell you they're close to the finish line, while others will say the Hawks are still finishing the expedition to determine trade value for him and other key players, such as Hunter and Capella. And a lot of people always ask, who are the key players? Who are the players that are off limits? And who are the other players that are on the table that the Hawks will trade? Well, according to Jake Fisher, an NBA insider with Yahoo Sports, he notes that Trae Young and Jalen Johnson are the only two untouchable players on the Hawks. Of late, he notes, Atlanta has informed numerous teams the only untouchable players on the Hawks roster are young and rising third-year forward Jalen Johnson. Shout out to all of these NBA insiders for giving us the following information, breaking it down, and letting us know the following updates on the Atlanta Hawks and what they're planning to do with Dejounte Murray. It's clear they're looking to pair Murray with Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, or another player to move multiple players to another team so that way they can get a young asset as well as draft capital. That's clearly what they want. And if you look at what the New York Knicks are rumored to want here, they want Murray, but now according to these reports, they want Capella too. And I'll say this, if the Knicks want Capella and Murray, then they're losing one of their big men. They're either losing Hartenstein or they're losing Mitchell Robinson. And with Mitchell Robinson out for basically the rest of the year and Hartenstein looking as good as he has been, it may look like the Knicks may want to include Mitchell Robinson in a deal with maybe Grimes, Fournier, and a couple of first-round picks in order to get Murray and Capella on this roster. Now, in my opinion, if you're asking me, I would not go after Clint Capella. I would not pursue Capella because he's getting paid a lot of money. I think it's $25 million this season, $25 million next season. Oh yeah, and by the way, after that, he's an unrestricted free agent, which means he can leave. So that means you might give up a lot of assets for him, and then maybe, yeah, you keep Murray. But if you don't get the flip Capella, because maybe his value doesn't get high enough, and he walks in free agency, and you lose him for nothing, that's going to look like a bad move for the New York Knicks. And I understand it. I know some people can make the argument that Capella under coach Tom Thibodeau may work Because if you look at the offensive rebounding percentage numbers right now, Mitchell Robinson, when he was playing, he was top of the league. Right after him was Clint Capella. So I can understand the argument a lot of fans want to make, saying that Clint Capella under Tom Thibodeau would thrive more than he's thriving right now with the Atlanta Hawks. I understand that. But honestly, guys, do you want to lose Hartenstein in this deal? Because in my opinion, when healthy, the Knicks have the best big man duo in the league defensively. Hartenstein off the bench and then Mitchell Robinson starting. Or some of you guys, you want to start Hartenstein and have Mitchell Robinson off the bench. Either way, I don't care. For me, it's matchup dependent. But if the Knicks want to do that, I love that idea. For me, I would rather the New York Knicks go with that and trust their big man duo versus going after Clint Capella and messing up the chemistry that the Knicks have right now. I wouldn't want the Knicks to go ahead and do that. However, if the Knicks can go out and get Dejounte Murray and an AJ Griffin, who, by the way, fits, I think, perfectly into the Obi Toppin trade exception, I would absolutely do that move. Maybe you add Evan Fournier and a couple of first-round picks. But let me say this, even though I want Murray, even though I think he's a good fit for this Knicks team, and I think he's the best fit among all available guards right now in the league. So that's my opinion on it. However, if you can't get him for the right price, I don't want you to go out and try to get him and another player you really don't need right now and can mess up the chemistry further if you add him to the roster. I don't want Capella on this team. I like Hartenstein starting. I like Mitch when he comes back. I don't want to mess up the big man duo that the New York Knicks have right now. I don't want to pay Capella. And honestly, guys, I don't think adding Clint Capella to this roster moves the needle even a little bit. I think Hartenstein on this roster, Mitchell Robinson on this roster, our two big men that we have right now are more impactful than Clint Capella could ever be with this team. But Dejounte Murray, he would be a game changer for this Knicks team. You definitely have to go out and try to get him. So in my opinion, if you can get him, AJ Griffin, and you can add him to this Knicks team without having to clear your cupboard of first-round picks and young assets, I'm doing the deal every single day. And clearly, as reports have indicated, the Hawks are looking for picks for Dejounte Murray. Shout out to Kevin O'Connor from The Ringer, an NBA insider, who notes the Atlanta Hawks are looking for 2 first-round picks for Dejounte Murray. Because again, according to him, from people he's spoken with, the Hawks are asking for 2 firsts in return who would prefer to join a team with a chance to make an immediate playoff run. So far, no one has met their demands. And according to Brian Windhorst, an ESPN insider, he notes that the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers were 2 teams as of recent time that were interested and still having talks about Dejounte Murray, still interested in adding him to the roster. I want Murray. You guys know that. But I don't want to sacrifice how good this team is by getting Murray and Capella, because I think that would be the wrong move for the New York Knicks to make. But if you're getting Murray and AJ Griffin, sign me up. You're getting Murray and Bey, sign me up. I'll include Grimes, Fournier, a couple of first-round picks for Bey and Dejounte Murray. Absolutely, because that's the move to make. Those two fill a position of need for this Knicks team. They would help this Knicks team immediately and in the future. Because let's say it doesn't work out completely. I think under Tom Thibodeau, those two would shine, they would get better defensively, and their value would go up. Which means next season, or whatever that star or superstar player that the Knicks want and have coveted for years becomes available, they could potentially set up a deal to trade those 2 players, some other players and picks to go out and get that star player. And let's make it clear here, if the Knicks give up 2 first-round picks, Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes, to get Bey and Murray, they will have upgraded their team and they still have assets available in the future to make a major trade happen. And I think the Hawks aren't going to be biased here. Whoever has the best deal on the table for their players, they're going to take that deal, accept that deal, make that trade, and then try to go ahead and recoup some more assets and try to build around Trae Young and Jalen Johnson. And if that means clearing their books next season and trying to trade for another star, they're going to do that. If that means going into the draft and adding some more young talent around these 2 young guys, they're going to do that. But clearly, that's what they have in mind. They're trying to retool more than they're trying to rebuild. But if you keep Trae Young, you can only keep him happy for so many years. Because maybe you can do this right now. But if you're still losing in the next 2-3 years, I think Trae Young is going to want out. and he's going to go to a contender, and the Hawks are going to look like they don't know what to do because they're making all these trades right now to make the team better around Trae Young and Jalen Johnson. But if Trae leaves, all the moves they're making right now are for nothing. I still think the Knicks are going to remain patient. They're going to wait, and they're going to see if Dejounte Murray's value lowers, if it does get a little bit lower. And if that happens, I think Leon Rose is going to swoop in, trade for him, and get Murray on this roster. Because I don't think he's opposed to a Murray trade. I just think he's opposed to trading for Murray and giving up a lot of assets. And I think that's what the discussions are right now, especially with the Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers talking to the Hawks basically each and every single day. Because again, even though I love Murray, the reason I keep releasing videos about Murray is because each and every day there's a new report indicating a new thing about Murray that the Hawks are trying to do, that the Knicks are trying to do, or that some move is being talked about. So obviously when I hear that, my excitement, because you know how I feel about Murray and wanting him on this team, it's going to get me excited. And if it gets me excited, I'm definitely going to drop a video about it like I'm doing today as well too. But also to keep you guys informed about the latest reports and latest ongoings happening with the Murray situation. Because I know a lot of you guys are just as interested in this situation as I am. So I'm glad I can help break this stuff down for you. But you guys got to tell me in the comments, what do you think about this report that the Knicks potentially could be targeting Clint Capella and Dejounte Murray? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.